Hello and welcome to another one podcast.
We have a Patreon. It's one of the best Patreons in the game.
By best, it's more of us.
Hundreds of hours of content. There's specials on there.
Three
specials. 2 live shows. It's one of the best Patreons around. You won't regret it. Sign up. £3 a month. That's all it fucking is.
I can't promise you it's one of the best or the most valuable, but if you enjoy us,
I think it is.
It's the only way to guarantee this carries on.
Yeah, that's yeah.
So
Genuinely.
It's up to you. Would you like this podcast to carry on? If the answer to that question is yes, then why not part with 75p a week by signing up to our Patreon?
Patreon.com/another one podcast. Sign up to it. You don't even have to enjoy the content that's on there.
You don't even have to watch it.
No.
Just
sign up.
75p a week,
yeah,
so that you get your public episode every week, guaranteed. Because if it drops below a certain level, it will stop.
75p a week.
The minute this costs us money again, it's gone.
Yeah, and it's
barely even.
So, please,
for the love of God,
yeah, please. Now it's beyond a joke. Now there's only one podcast that needs the money, and that's ours. We're absolutely brassic, and we've got the most outgoings, like dependents.
Another one.
Happening, everyone. Welcome to episode 156 or something, is it?
Well, 160, I think.
160 of another one with me, Simon Wozniak, joining me, co-host, cohort, brother from another mother, brother in arms, Rob Thomas.
What's happening, everyone?
And one guest today, debutant, finally got him. Gav Webster. How you doing, mate?
I'm very well.
You're a requested guest.
Really?
Yeah, you are,
well,
yeah.
By us.
Well, yeah, by us mainly, yeah. We want you, yeah.
You're the only people that count.
No, yeah. One guy did this to me after the arc when I put it on my stories. He said, get him on the pod.
All right, okay.
And I was just like, I'll try, but it's quite far from to just...
Oh, you did that
come
thing
down.
that was like really like Jimmy Savile in the 70s. It's very difficult to get haircut 100. Pull a few strings and
yeah.
You used to make it like really tough to get people.
I'll be honest with you.
Everyone's really hard.
I needed to get pissed on Tuesday so we couldn't record, and then he got in a fucking mood with me or whatever. Because I had to rejig everything. So then I obviously found that you were on at Laughter House. I was like, oh, that'd be good guest.
Yeah.
All's well that ends well.
Well, yeah, I'm here now.
Yeah, it's good to have you.
How's things?
Ah, great. Yes, all good, I think. I think my health's all right. You know, you get a few...
check.
You get a few aches and pains, don't you? But, you know, you just...
Do you go to the doctors, though? Would you?
Oh, no, there's no story behind it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I should go to the doctors at my age, but I always put it off.
That's what I wouldn't check me. I just dropped dead.
Yeah, it's best not to know, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, ignorance is bliss.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are you of that opinion, yeah? You're not getting anything checked out, or?
Nah, you know. I mean, I'm not going to look stupid, am I, when I'm dead? You know, because I'll be dead. You know,
right.
But you look stupid now with your premature death.
Right.
He's dead now, isn't he?
I don't know how can you call it premature though? It's just like even now if I died tomorrow, everyone would be like, well, he was a fat cunt, so yeah, maybe like
yeah. You dying. You like, dropping dead is fine.
Yeah. He was a fat alcoholic and he was miserable, so maybe
yeah. You dropping dead would be fine.
I remember someone dropped dead in the pub once. Most miserable man you ever met.
Really?
Yeah, most miserable. Just dead, dour, miserable. Used to call him the little black cloud.
Right.
He was like the donkey off Eeyore. And he dropped dead 50 odd, and not one person went.
Not person went to him.
He's still in the middle of the pub. He dropped dead in the middle of the pub, had a heart attack, and not one person was like, too soon, or that was so premature. Yeah. It was just like, everyone was like, yeah, well, you're going to live your life that fucking stressed and miserable.
Was the landlord a bit upset? You know, was he putting a bit of money behind it?
Yeah, probably a bad tipper. That was really good.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. For one of them miserable bastards, though, for every one of them you get, it's one of them you're like,
sweating.
He goes, and more people are going to come back. You don't know who was keeping out.
Yes,
you don't know who was keeping out the pub, do you?
People down. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
We used to have a fella called Ray, and when I used to work behind the bar when I was in my younger days, and he'd come in at 10:30 and order like 4 Guinness. It's the most expensive drink. And the landlord used to be like, "You can't kick him out too early, and like you gotta keep him happy." But he was a cunt.
Was this like regular? Was it so? This
yeah, it's like
these 4 pints of Guinness were vital for the
on the last orders. Be one of them. I think he just did it to try and be like, I'm going to order these and you can't kick me out because I've ordered them, sort of thing. Whereas I was like, cocky 18-year-old sort of thing, I'll just fucking lash you drinks, you bought them now, couldn't give a fuck. So I used to argue with the landlord about it. And she'd be like, no, don't, because like, don't kick him out. He buys the most expensive drink and he buys 4 of them. Just be a bit nicer, will you? And I'd always argue, yeah, but he's a cunt.
That's so north of England, though. Yeah. Look, he buys the most expensive drinks, Guinness.
Yeah, exactly.
What? 4 pints of Guinness was enough to keep him in that. He had to stay open, especially for 4 pints of Guinness. That's. I think they've got bigger problems than that, lad. I mean, 20 quid.
But my argument used to be.
Kind of be looking at the bigger picture in general. There you go.
But I used to argue people like
Yeah, that is a bit. Yeah, you got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
And if a guy getting 4 Guinness at the end of the night at 10:30's an issue.
Yeah. Well, 4 Guinness and 2 whiskies he used to get. But my argument used to be, you don't need to get off at 10 o'clock because he's coming in.
So he comes in at 10.
Comes in at 10:30.
Oh right, okay. So he's not there from 7.
Comes in at 10:30, orders a Guinness, and last order's quarter.
I mean, that's just what you'd spend.
He orders 4 more Guinness and 2 whiskies.
All right, so you've got 20 minutes drinking up time as a rule of thumb.
Yeah, so you're thinking, I finish getting paid at 11:30. He's going to be here. He's going to try and keep me here till 12. And I used to be obsessed thing, which is the dick swinger thing with him. Like,
but if you only got time to get there at 10, that's just a normal amount that you drink. I wouldn't say that's big of an issue.
Well, 5 Guinness and 2 whiskies from
10 till 12.
Yeah, but I want to be. I'm only getting paid till 11.
He's not doing that.
Last orders is 11 o'clock.
Yeah, but he's not doing that to wind you up. He wants that, and he can only get there to have that.
No. He's doing it to wind you up.
But I also don't think you should, especially make it think. I don't think that's a big enough order. If he came back and said, "Listen, I'll give you £300 to stay open till 12," then I go, "Yeah, we need to keep it open for him."
Yeah.
But if he's just getting,
I wasn't the one. That was my argument. But the landlord's argument was most expensive drinks of Guinness.
Were you aware of any other local pubs he was going to beforehand?
Oh yeah, he was going over the road before because it was 60p cheaper for a Guinness over the road.
Oh, I see.
And then it was just, it's like he'd come in there, the salty, the last call for the atmosphere or something. I don't know, because that'd still be busy at 10:30.
So even though he was miserable, he still liked the atmosphere.
I think so.
I quite like that you want to be miserable amongst a happier atmosphere.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
miserable amongst people, sort of thing.
Contrast a bit, like
you don't mind a solo pint, do you?
Yeah, I don't mind a solo pint. Yeah.
See, a lot of people don't do that, but I've always been a fan of it.
You know, you can
he's a big advocate for a solo pint.
Yeah, sat in the corner of like a pub or something on your own.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I mean, I like company as well, but you know, it's all right, isn't it?
I don't think I'd out of town at a gig maybe, but local. I don't think there's a pub I could go into where I wouldn't know someone by my house.
Oh, right.
So it's like, then I'm having a solo pint, people whispers that go around. He started drinking on his own. What's going on? You getting phone calls?
Yeah. Well, I mean, but we all live, I'm sure we all live in less than salubrious areas. So there's always somebody that you think, oh, Christ, I don't want to bump into him.
Yeah.
He's trouble.
I think that's it.
What?
That's what you are in your village.
No, I'm not. I'm all right. Well, yesterday I was in the pub by ours, and then this young lad just come in, just flipped off the bird who worked there, called her an ugly cunt, and then went, "I'm going now," and then got some off his mate and left.
I mean, there's history there.
Yeah.
I don't think that just happened randomly.
Oh, I know, I know, but it was a bit shocking. Yeah.
That sounds like he's barred. And before she had a chance to tell him, he's gone, fuck off.
Yeah, but it was a better story without the history, isn't it? If he's just come in and done that. He's about 18, 19.
You know when something like that happens and you're on a pint on your own? When you go for your next pint, do you sidle over the bar and try and get the gossip? Would you want to then go to bar mates? Well, that was a bit odd, that wasn't it?
Well, it was clear that it wasn't like a threatening thing. There's clearly been there. It happened weeks. It was a build-up of things. So it was like, this isn't that bad. But it was just a bit shocking. And then there was some old woman sat there having a 0% pint of Guinness. And then
Guinness again.
Yeah.
Keeps the pub going.
0%. And then she was a bit taken aback. But we all obviously knew that it wasn't like that bad of a deal. But there was a guy in there who's a known guy that you're thinking he needs to die.
Right.
Joey, the way he lives his life. He's like 60 and he's not a picture of health at all.
Right.
And he's always out bevying.
So you think the death would be doing him a favour?
Well, if he died, it'd be like, well, yeah, he's on like, you know, he's drinking like 5-6 pints and then whiskies every single night.
Mm-hmm.
So he's another one of them ones that if he dropped dead, you'd be like, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, fair
No
enough.
one would go, oh, that's shocking.
Yeah.
Bless him. What happened to him?
What a surprise.
Yeah. So you're not getting anything checked out?
Not really. No.
You're just gonna go like, why don't you get checked? I'd get checked out and I'd get to.
I'd have to be bullied into it. I just don't see the point.
Well, at my age, you get people. The clinic sends you these things where
Yeah.
you've got to go and go and check things out, and then they start, getting a bit arsey with you, saying like, "Well, you didn't. We asked you before, and you didn't," and and then just get a bit school teachery, saying, "Well, you can all sorts of things can happen, and don't blame us if it happens." And you go, "Well, I don't know. I've got a lot of things to do.
Who's blaming you?
Like,
exactly. I'm not going to blame them if there was something undetected. I'm not going to.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not on them, is it?
no, but are you just not like thinking I'd like to stay alive a bit longer, or?
Oh, it's just hassle.
Yeah, what? After all the traffic to do.
I'd like to stay out. Fuck that.
Unconscious death wish.
Well, it's not an unconscious death, which is just like, you want to live your life hassle free. And then you think, is that hours of... So you think that you go and get checked out, there's an hour in the doctors. He then puts you in the hospital. There's 3 hours out your day in the hospital. And top of the letters and the fucking anxiety and all, you're like, fuck it. It's like when smokers ciggy and it like takes 5 minutes off your life. It's like, that's worth it. You look and you do the gamble, you do the little thing. Fuck it, that's worth 5 minutes. I go to the doctors and think, is that 6 hours of admin worth another 5 years? And I think, nah.
Because that day was ruined.
It was that's the day in my prime. I'm thinking, I'm adding them 5 years on to the end.
Yeah,
I'm adding them 5 years on like tomorrow.
I'm fucking sweating now.
What in here now? Yeah.
I am roast. Are you hot or not?
Nah, not really.
No.
I don't know what it is. With
Don't
me
feel the weather, do you?
carburetor. I'm sort of fine regardless of what.
What, cold or hot? You're just like
kind of all right. Yeah.
with everything.
Yeah.
Northeast, isn't it?
I wasn't born. I was created.
How long have you been doing stand up now?
32 years.
32.
Yeah.
Where'd you start?
Started in started in sort of like a double act in 1992 in Baker in the East End of Newcastle, and then I did my first solo spot at February 1993 in a pub called the Barleymoor in Gateshead. That was February 1983. So that's like that's 31 years, but it was 32 altogether.
What happened to the double act? Has he got on to be a really successful businessman?
He was more keen than me at first,
right?
And then he sort of dropped off. Sadly, he died this year, but I kept in touch with him. We didn't really fall out as such, but he got less interested as he was dead keen.
So how long you together for a year?
About that, and then we sort of went with separate ways, and then he got bored and started going into wrestling promotion.
There's a lot of that crossover with comedy, isn't
He
there?
was a lot older as well, but I think because he had kids that wrestling age, so they were quite keen on whatever.
You wouldn't be a wrestler.
No, I'm not going to say I'm too old. I'm sort of the wrong generation, because when I was a kid, it was that joke stuff on ITV with giant hairstacks and Big Daddy and that. I just thought, oh, this is fucking rank, this, isn't it? And so it wasn't just the wrong time, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, I just see that. The wrestling thing. Obviously, we can all have our own little interests in that.
Yeah.
But it's just something about, like just this blag wrestling event in the Guildhall. That's just a bit wild to me when I see like. But I don't want
these posters.
Yeah. Just like I know what we do. People could go, it's a bit weird and sad that he's gigging in a cafe in a bay window, but then I just see these wrestling events and there's like 30 people there. And
do you think people look at comedy nights that way though?
I'm sure they do. Yeah, I'm sure they go, this looks sad.
The Feathers by ours, and like the little bar shop by ours, which used to be like a card shop. So they turned it into this boozer, which is essentially looks like a wine bar, but it's a boozer. And someone's put a comedy night on there, and someone showed me the poster, and you're just like,
oh no, who?
Mark Devine.
Oh,
you're just looking, going, that doesn't need.
He's put a comedy night on there.
He's putting it on in there, and it's like, that doesn't need. And
you doing it?
Absolutely not. I don't recognise a single person who's doing it.
Oh,
and
no.
And I just think that if a normal member of the public looks at that and goes, like, do they go? It's something a bit sad about standing in the corner of a boozer-cum wine bar.
If you go to that and that's going to be your barometer for what comedy is, then you deserve that.
Yeah, that's what someone's going to say to you about wrestling, though, isn't it?
No, because
if you go to the Guildhall and that's your barometer of everything the wrestling is, then that's you deserve it.
No, but like I've seen maybe
like on the WWE they're doing Cirque du Soleil shit. You're like that watching some fat fella.
But that's WWE.
Fall through a table and you're going wrestling.
No, but they have to start out somewhere, don't they?
Exactly. Yeah.
What I don't like about these open mic nights of comedy, it's these four faces of these fresh-faced people, you know, and they've got very mundane names, you know, like Ian Thompson and and like, I think that's your time when you first start to be a bit crazy, going, yeah, MC is the Iceman. And, first act, Phyllis. That's how she's got Phyllis. She's mental. And then there's some double act with a ridiculous name. You go, aye, that's the moment where you go and see, this is going to be mad shit.
Yeah.
Whereas they all just look very normal. Like, like local radio DJs are just normal people that are just worse versions of the national DJs, you know. And I always think it's a bit like that. You think, one chance to be a bit crazy is at the beginning of your career, to have a silly name and do something a bit mad
before anyone knows you.
But that's if you're going to have a career. That's the problem, though, isn't it? A lot of people go into this now career-minded.
That's right. They're aspiring to be the everyman. You know, they're aspiring to, they start their first gig and go, what's that all about? Students, what are they all about? And you go, your first gig, you're being like that.
Do you ever feel like you'd like to have a clean slate again and just be able to start something or have a go again? Because any gig you turn up at now, someone will be there who will see you as Gav and be like, he was terrible what he was trying to do there. Do you ever wish you could do that without anyone know? You know when you turn up at a gig and you can see all the ones that you've been going the longest or whatever, and then all the newer comics know that you're meant to be the good one. But you think, I don't want to do any material. I want to just do something completely different now. And they're all going to be thinking, he's shit him. How's he a comedian?
I reckon it depends on the night, though, because even then, I reckon if Gav, or even any one of the three of us, went up on an open night, I thought, I'm just going to be a bit silly, would still be the best in the night. That's just by sheer comfortableness.
You actually, your skills, your little tricks you've learned and all that, you could kind of, you can turn water
just by the fact that you're confident on stage, like to go on to not be on stage shitting yourself, the audience go, thank fuck.
Right, so you're just dying. They're not laughing, but they're going, it's okay.
Yeah, and you could pass anything off. Like, say, if we bet each other, go, right, go on that open night, do an observation that obviously isn't an observation.
That sounds such a good idea.
God, how you doing this? People from Cornwall.
When the weather's wrong.
What is it like when you suck chew it? Your arse hurts. You can pull it off because you're really good at performance.
Yeah, that would be funny though. I like the idea of that, trying to do like really everyman observation stuff, but there being no sense to it. Have you ever thought about doing that?
No, I've just we've it's definitely got its genesis in here, isn't it?
There you go. Then that's a new 5 minutes for someone.
That's it. Someone's new character actor. That's been robbed now.
So you can do that first. I'm trying to think of like stupid observation. I can't do it now
because I think people will go home, driving home, and go, hang on, we don't do that.
He tricked us. He tricked us.
Fucking.
Someone's miserable wife
in the middle of sex or something.
Yeah. Someone's wife who wasn't enjoying it the whole time. As soon as you get in the car, they turn to you. You don't even do any of that. You were just laughing because, look at you, you're desperate to
be is that how stupid crowds can be?
You can pepper it with all the cliches. Going, look at the women laughing. They know.
And if you're not laughing, it's you.
Of course, the young people don't know what I'm talking about. Anyone over, insert name of age, anyone over 35 knows.
Yeah, that's that. I'm going to do that.
Put your arse in the oven first thing in the morning. Of course, the middle class people don't know what I'm talking
about. That's funny. You wouldn't get it. Yeah, because the problem is...
You're laughing, mate.
Yeah, but it's probably...
Somebody's been brought up well. Insert the local,
but there is
suburb
but
you've asked beforehand.
Yeah, they won't know. They won't know.
But there is things that like the super rich and wealthy would know that we wouldn't have a clue about, and you go, oh, there you go then. Just have to pretend that is a thing.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, you could.
I think that's really funny. That just saying, yeah, you wouldn't get it.
Yeah.
What a rich thing, like, have you noticed when you come in and your dad's dressed in your mother's clothes and he's having a strangle wank?
Oh God, I am fucking sweating. I don't know. Are you
Why
just
you reach for the fridge?
Yeah, you just white knuckling it.
I'm all right, mate. For now.
All right.
I'll break out and sweat in about 5 minutes.
I'm just gonna let it go. Like, when you're on holiday, as an observation.
You don't know when you're on
like,
holiday.
when you're on holiday and you just let the heat just make you, and you don't sweat as much because you just accept the fact that you're never gonna be cool.
You do that. That's you, Dave.
Yeah.
That's you.
You wouldn't know if you only go to Butlins. You know what I mean? I'm talking about proper holidays now.
Exactly. Sorry, I'll have to do different material than posh people.
32 years. How's it been?
Well, it's had its ups and downs, isn't it?
We were talking about that in the green room at the art, weren't we? Like the opposite, getting breaks and not getting breaks, and people going, "Oh, I can't." And you think, well, maybe you just, we said, maybe you weren't good enough.
Yeah, you get a break because you're good. Don't you? It's the nature of a break, isn't it?
Yeah, like to be bad and get a break. Do you think that exists?
Well, is it a break until you break? If you don't break,
Well,
off?
for me, it's like you might go, I think that person who's getting this break is not good.
It's not a
But
break
then
unless
you're wrong.
it's not a break unless you break
You're
off.
only getting.
You're just dying at a gig otherwise.
If you're
Like
you're
live at the
cleaning
Apollo-
the windows of the comedy club and somebody says, do you know what the headliner's pulled out tonight?
Yeah.
But then even then you've still got to do the business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the bloke cleaning the windows. We couldn't get an act. We'll put him on. Yeah, and he was shit.
Shut
Of course he was.
So it wasn't a breakdown, was it? You do live the Apollo.
Oh, you think you're not putting him on? I told you to ring around to the agency.
I just wanted to
You might as well,
I
though.
just thought it might be one of them moments, the things you hear about. Wow, he's brilliant.
I thought that about.
I like the idea of a shite act who's had loads of breaks, but again, because they've never delivered, it's not a break.
Yeah.
I mean, you go live the Apollo down your ass, so that I think. No, I'm in the green room going, I still haven't had my break, I still haven't had my break, and you're like, you've had 8 breaks, you can off cunt.
Right. Yeah.
You've been counting the breaks.
If you had a break.
Have I had a break?
Yeah.
I
don't think a break is.
I think next year it'll be I'll have had a break.
Yeah, you've had a chance to do something.
So I'll have supported Paul that many times, that enough times.
Yeah, that you should have.
I should have done something with it.
Right.
So that'll be a break.
Yeah, so you've got a break coming up in the new year.
Well, it's because of the type of thing it is. It's sort of a year, isn't it? You've got to give yourself time to build that audience up. So after a year, I'll have performed in front of that many people. I should have curated something. So that would have been a break.
A semi-break.
Well, I'd look back at my career and say, oh, it was a big break when I got to support Paul.
Yes, getting to play them size of rooms. Yeah.
But then next year
It's an opportunity, like.
Yeah, but that's what a break is, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Like Bishop's break was Comedy Roadshow.
Yeah, he did that, and but there's a lot of people got that opportunity, but he's.
Yeah, but it wasn't a break for them.
I think he was the only one that sort of took it with both hands.
Bridges and Bishop.
He did quite well, didn't he? Because I think, but he might have got a bit of a semi-break before that. I can't remember, but
No, Bridges were the same. Bridges and Bishop were both Roadshow because Bridges was the Glasgow one, and it was the gives a quid or you're getting stabbed.
Right.
And I stood there trying to work out their BMI. I stood there with 2 women. He's saying, I'm trying to work out their BMI. I thought, oh, actually, this is for me. That was his big because
he got a break. Did he not get a break on something else before that? Or am I getting that wrong?
Well, that was the first time.
He was only young when he did.
Yeah.
First time I think he broke nationally.
Right.
And Bishop was the same with the family van. And
There was no one else off that off them series. Is like
no, McIntyre was the Apollo.
Yeah.
And it was there was 4. Manford's was the Apollo, and then Bishop and Bridges was off the Comedy Roadshow.
And there was about 2 or 3 series of the Comedy Roadshow, wasn't there? Certainly 2
Yeah.
at least, anyway.
Yeah, well, Morehouse and Ferry were on one.
Yeah, they
were on.
one.
I think Ferry was on Bishop's one. Yeah.
I think you're right, aye. And there was obviously a lot. There was maybe about 3 per show, so you only got maybe 1 per series. Maybe if they were on different
Possibly,
series.
like I said, yeah, because Bishop Bridges might have been a different series, I think. But every area had 3 comics. So the Manchester one had Bishop, Ferry, and I'm not sure who the other act was.
Morehouse.
Possibly, I'm not sure. I don't think it was Morehouse though.
Milliken.
Well, Milliken was the North East probably.
I think she'd already hit it big before that.
I think Milliken might have been live at the Apollo as well. I think she did.
May have been.
Because she got live at the Apollo and done everything, didn't she? Sort of thing.
Yeah.
We've got a woman put on everything.
Yeah.
Well, you must have seen all of them coming through.
Yeah, I've seen everybody come through pretty much. Yeah.
You know, in '93, well, what was it a circuit then or what?
Well, there was sort of. Obviously, it wasn't like as big as what it is now. There were still comedy clubs.
Yeah.
Still some comedy clubs. Mainly it was in London. I remember them saying, like, if you get really good, you'll end up becoming a professional on the London circuit. It was mainly London.
I was going to say, being so far away, there was
only about a dozen comics that were based sort of in the north of England, and then there was like half a dozen in the West Midlands and half a dozen in Scotland.
Really?
It was very few. So there would be like somebody would put a gig on somewhere in West Yorkshire or something, and the headliner would be the first one would be Tony Burgess, and the next one would be Roger Monkhouse because he was based up north. And I would get one, and then somebody else would get one, and then that was it. They'd have to get somebody from
do another night or something another day.
Yeah, because there was only about 5 who could do it.
Right,
and it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, that is mental now.
When I look at all the open mics in Newcastle, doing like the Red Row at the stand and that, there's loads of them, all men and women, young and old, all different sexualities and everything. But like it was for a while, there was only me because Ross Noble had gone to London and Dave Johns was in London, and that was the only full-time professional for about 8 years.
That must have been good.
And it was all right, but then there wasn't
bit
the gigs,
bored.
really.
Is it a bit of
wasn't the gigs.
Right.
It was just like...
Yeah.
And people didn't really know what comedy was. If you went to a pub and went, can we put some comedy on? What do you mean comedy? Like a comedy club?
Yeah.
A comedy club. Just like you were just talking in a different
like
language.
that Phoenix Night where he comes and sits them down and bollocks them before they even get on stage.
Oh, yes, that's right. I was going to be on that scene.
Was
Yeah, but the agent that I had at the time advised us not to do it. It's
Wow.
Brian Potter telling them to like what you can and can't say
before they even got on stage. He was like, because he did one of the ideas. We'll have one of these comedy clubs. Everyone started having, and he comes on stage. It's a family club. I don't want none about this. None about that. Even got on stage yet, and they've been bollocked. And you're like, for fuck's sake, what do you expect from them?
They wanted me to have me. This is what they wanted me to. Well, Peter rang us and he asked us to go on with a ukulele because I had a ukulele at the time.
Yeah.
And he wanted me to go on and go, and I lick him and I suck him and I fucking him and I lick him and I suck him and I fucking him. But I wish I'd done it now.
Yeah.
So you only didn't do it because your agent said...
The agent at the time, Cosmic Comedy, which she went, I would advise you not to do it. Because she said, because you're getting a walk-on 3, which was, I don't know whether that's still a term now in acting, a walk-on, because I'm not an actor, you get a walk-on 3 and you're only going to get 100 quid or something, but like it would have been great to have just been on.
Yeah.
Like CV-wise, I was on Phoenix Nights as well.
What's a walk-on for? Is that like...
I don't know what it is, to be honest.
No royalties sort of thing?
I think like it's a walk-on 3 as in you're not an extra, whatever they call it.
Oh, a walk-on fee.
No, walk-on 3, I think it was. A walk-on 3. I think it's like because I had a lane, because that was it. But it's not as much as a... And I'm probably not credited as a person. Maybe not credited.
Yeah.
But you still
Right,
get lanes. I don't.
Because I remember there used to be a rumour. I don't know how true that was. That like Toby Hiddo, because he was
ended up on that scene.
He was an actor and he was an agent because he was an actor and stuff. So his agent, like everyone else, just got one fee and that was it. He got royalties for years.
He told me this, because when I told him that, he said,
I just changed the contract.
I don't
knows
know.
what they're doing.
Yeah, so he gets royalties.
So was your agent didn't even think to go, oh no, we want a different contract?
Just one of them daft comedy agents that I'm sure we all know. We don't know. Who's got a mobile phone? You know what I mean?
You know,
yeah, who's got a successful partner, which means they can fuck around. My wife earns millions in a corporate job.
So he sits in the box room going, no way.
We can send them to Brighton for nothing if you want.
For a walk on 3. Whatever the fuck that is. Have a quick look and see what walk on 3 means or something.
So there was a story about a fucking agent that we all know that almost cost this guy thousands because of this contract. That's how you have to yeah.
Really?
Fucking stupid. And then
didn't send it.
That was the straw that broke the guy. I think they left shortly after that.
Hollywood movie. He almost cost about
Hollywood movie. And he was like, don't sign it till I've read it. He's like, they're not having me off here, mate. They're just, you know what I mean? It's just, you've got to sign this thing. And he's like, don't do it until I've read it. And he never read it in time. And he never got it back in time for the thing.
Really?
Yeah. So he went,
Lord, until I read it.
Until I read it and give the say-so on it. So funny, like.
Oh, yes, I could tell you something.
Yeah. Well, you and Seymour had a brief dalliance with an agency. Yeah, I saw that. What was that? 8 days?
Yeah, it was short. It was like Brian Clough at Leeds United.
One gig in a social club, I think it lasted or something.
Like that. Yeah.
The thing you did a podcast that you had the comedy results, but did you do you speaking? There was do you do a podcast and Seymour was a guest on it or something? Like,
we did a couple of things for a couple of episodes. Yeah, that didn't really sort of take on. Yeah, we had a one.
I think I listened to it one time and then
something like, "What did you have for your tea last night?" or something.
Right.
Like that. It was Seymour's podcast, but I guest on it. But yeah, he was on the comedy results a few times. Seymour, yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't win. They just went out live, but we didn't put them out afterwards because they'd be massively libelous.
Well, there was.
We will actually mention names. It was late that night.
It does turn into a bitch, doesn't it?
Comics would bring up bits and say stuff where you go, I hope nobody's listening to this.
Our patrons like that. It's like, I hope no cunt's paying.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, do you still speak? Is he still gigging at all?
Seymour, I see him a bit. He doesn't gig so much, but I saw him this last week. We were doing some filming last week in his house. Just not for anything particular. I just had this crew come round and says, "We'll try a few things out," and we did a couple of improvised sketches and that
to try and put us on the online reels. Are you trying to get into that, or you sort of?
I don't know. I think he was just. I don't think there was any plan.
Right, he's just fancied getting filmed for a day.
There's probably some new production company who's liked them from something and gone, do you want
to
just film stuff? And you go, fuck it, yeah, why not?
Yeah, we've got no ideas, but I think of them as we go along, you know what I mean? So you pick things up and go,
Patrice O'Neill had that, didn't he?
What?
One of his, an internet television production company. One we got no money, but you just do what you want. He went, all right, sound.
Yeah.
He's done his own show on the internet for a bit.
Yeah, no, I think.
Did you see any of it?
I've seen clips of it from the documentary, but I've not seen it when it went out. The Patrice O'Neill show.
Oh yeah, I've seen.
And it's just him, being as wild.
Patrice O'Neill.
Yeah.
Oh really? Did he do his own thing?
Well, basically, what happened, like I say, when
like a green screen,
when .com kicked off, as they called it.
Yeah.
Some production company went, listen, we've got no money, but you can do. Here's us. We've got a studio. And you can do what you want. We won't say not. We won't.
But to edit it, they edit it as well.
They edit it and put it out. But you can do whatever you want. And I think he did it for about a year. Yeah, I think he got a bit of a cult thing.
Yeah, well, he had a bit of a cult following.
Yeah.
Did you gig with him?
Yeah.
Did you?
Aye, a few.
Oh yeah, because he was over here for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was very good friends with John Fothergill. Funnily enough.
Was he? That's so fucking.
Yeah, it's like
he's back up north now, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. It's a bit like if somebody said, "Well, Elvis was good mates with John Inman from really good friends with him." Like, what? Hang on, have I got that right? Yeah, he's massive mates with him.
What they used to hang out with each other.
Yeah, when he came over to this country, he used to hang out with John because this mad fan, this American fan, said, "Did you know Patrice O'Neill?" He said he was really good friends with a Geordie comedian. Well, I gigged with him a couple of times, and I had a laugh with him, but I couldn't see we were friends. But he says, "Oh, I'm sure you were." But then I found out it was John. He was good friends with. He was very good friends with John.
So, proper pals.
Yeah, though. I didn't know that when he was over.
I don't think anybody knows that. I've never heard that.
That's what
You think you'd hear it though, wouldn't you?
That makes it someone though, didn't he?
John, and he doesn't go on about it. You know, there's certain people that harp on about like
right.
naff people who go, because we're good friends, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, does it? But it's quite.
Oh, that was John. Now I'll be trying to get in touch with Bill Burr, trying to get one of them shows.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean,
do you documentary about his time in England?
That's right. Whenever anybody dies, they try and get any link that all say, what was he like then? You know?
Yeah. Just the comic.
Yeah, it's just a bloke.
It's 32 years deep, man.
So when 93.
Yeah.
You were saying there wasn't loads of gigs then.
Yeah.
But there was also no comics. So like you were saying about like you'd have 4 gigs, and then you have to like sort of refresh again. Yeah. Was there more pressure to write material then, or was it just a case of the gigs were so few and far between that it wasn't? Because there's sort of a thing now, isn't it? Like people who started years ago never change the set and never write new stuff. But then I think, well, there were so few comedians, you'd probably be forced to write it just because, I'm going back there soon. So I need something new.
Well, I don't know. I suppose there's contradictory statements with the past because, like, you know, obviously you always think your time's the best time, don't you?
Yeah.
So people from my time always think it's better, but I don't know whether it is because I wasn't very good, but I had a few different ideas. But got quickly rose to getting headline spots and that straight away because there wasn't many comics and there was probably a lot of people that weren't all that good. But then the ones that are still around, you know, the aforementioned, like Tony Burgess and Walkouts, and that are still working. They're still working, so they've obviously...
Well, they stood the test of time sort of thing, but I wonder, like...
But there's loads of them that didn't.
Because that's one of the things that people, like, I'd say our generation throws at your generation sort of thing, is that you cunts never change your set. Yeah. Whereas we like, I reckon year by year, we've got 80% difference in our sets sort of thing. So, like, I wonder, like, saying, is that a case of, do you reckon that's a culture thing of back then no one really needed to? Or was it a case of... She's been doing it that long.
Well, there was none of this sort of thing for a start, you know, and then there was none of like repeating panel shows going on all the time on television, terrestrial television as well. And there wasn't really, I think when the Comedy Store TV program came out, that was the first stand-up show, and there was Live at Jongleurs as well.
Live at Jongleurs, and then was it Around the World? Something Around the World?
Gas as well. Do you remember Gas? That started. It was Lee Mack who presented Gas in about 97.
I will have seen it. I saw it.
A few people wanted it. I tried to get on. I couldn't get on that. And
there was Jongleurs. There was something Around the World.
Live stand. Oh, there was the live stand-up tour or something.
That was Ian.
The Comedy Store as well, which is when it round the
world. Comedy store. I saw a lot of Comedy Store. I saw a lot of the Jongleurs.
Ian Wilson, I think, but that.
I think Mitch Benn. I remember seeing Mitch Benn Around the World.
Yeah, because that was Ian Wilson's act.
Mitch Benn was doing early gigs in Dubai, and I might as well say this. He was on a plane, and a comic told me this, that he was doing the Dubai gigs with them when the Frog and Bucket used to book them before the Comedy Store did. So he was on this plane, and this refugee family or something, you know, that might not have been refugees, I think I may have made that up, but there was family, and the kids were pointing at their mother at Mitch Benn and whispering, and apparently he leaned over and he went, yes, Mitch Benn, Gas, Channel 4. Like Bahrain or something. Oh man. But they thought he was a wrestler because he looked like
That's embarrassing, isn't it?
That's mad.
Gas Channel 4.
It was such a worldwide hit.
Stupid cunt.
It's mad. It's like comics that got on
the
telly.
Ego, though.
Well, like, you know when there was like that bit of boom with like I saw him doing
He's from Liverpool.
Yeah, he's from Crosby.
Is he? Yeah.
But Mitch, yeah. He's middle class, right? He's
Crosby's middle class, yeah.
But you can tell by his accent, he's got that.
Oh
thing,
yeah, he's got.
I can list the Geordies like that, like the Neil Tennant from the Pet Shop Boys, and the lads from the Viz. It has to be said, they're all quite posh Geordie.
Yeah. He's very, I think.
You can tell by
sure
the
his parents were
vowels,
teachers, Blundell Sands and stuff, He's
but
one
those
of the...
people crank it up doing this. Scouse is big for that. So is Geordie, so is Glaswegian, where they're working class it up and you go, you're quite posh, but the rest of the country doesn't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We you know, because it's their accents that you can crank up to look like you're from the gutter.
Yeah.
You know, and...
Well, that's when you also get people like, a bit like Mitch Bent and a bit like Ringo Starr, who when they leave... decide they're better than where they were from, and then like the fucking city turns against them, sort of thing.
Right. But Ringo's opposite. He's from the Dingle, isn't he?
Yeah, Ringo was quite poor, but he's very much. Have you ever heard? Liverpool's a shithole, and I'm glad to get away from it. Sort of thing.
Did he say that?
So I said that. Yeah, I remember he got hit or heat, didn't he?
So he's not welcome back. But
he's not welcome in the shipment.
He's bad.
Yeah. If he drops dead, no one will give a fuck.
You got a name.
All right, if you like 4 Guinness, you can come in. Say the city's a shithole, but 4 Guinness and 2 bells, and come on then. Keep us afloat.
That's really funny. Imagine him getting Ringo with his sunglasses going,
half 10.
All right, 4 Guinness it is.
But I'm not leaving until midnight.
Oh, God.
Peace and love. I won't sign autographs, Ringo, will he?
No, he stopped all of that.
Stop all of that.
Why?
Yeah, but that's what?
What's that? Why is that?
He's sick of it or something.
He said it's too many.
He's sick of it.
He had a viral video.
I'm sick of
He
it.
had a viral video which he gave a cut-off date. It was like no more after that.
There was a date, wasn't there?
Yeah.
He's on his last date.
Released the video was like any incentive after this date will not be getting signed. I'm just too busy.
Well, selfies now, innit, than autographs. But I imagine the people that
probably,
like him are autographs still.
Yeah.
But we had we had that. Who's it? Who's the guy? Who's Morrissey? Is it Morrissey or is Van Morrison? Is it which one?
Well, Van Morrison apparently a twat.
Yeah.
No, Van Morrison. You say he's a twat, but then it was Jamie Sutherland was telling us about his.
Yeah.
He goes on stage. That is the exact time. He plays the exact same songs, and he's off stage the exact time. And if you're a band member, you're out of time. Doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He will not change. He goes on. He's like robotic. Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
No encore, no nothing, no break. Bam, 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 bam. There's your hour and a half. Fuck off and gone.
Yeah.
Doesn't wave.
The band are running around the stage because if you don't get to your instrument in time, he'll fume at you.
Can't. You've got to keep
he's
up
that
with him.
much of a curmudgeon.
He's doing his 90 minutes and that's all you get. You've paid for that. That's all you're getting. That's
all
you're getting from me. Don't be at the stage door. I won't be there. Fuck off.
Oh, I quite like that.
Exactly. No encore, no wave. Doesn't even wave the fan. There's no chat between songs. 90 minutes.
I like that.
Here's the hits. Bang, I'm gone. I'm done. That's what you've paid for. That you've had your product. Fuck off.
Great. So he obviously is successful at that though, because he still
does the live shows and
all that, isn't he?
But it's like that. If your audience comes to expect that, then it's probably part of the magic.
What was it?
Watch this. He's not going to say nothing between these songs now. He's just going to sit there and wait.
Well, you're paying for the songs, aren't you? You're not paying for the patter.
It's the same as the name. Who's the girl from the Fugees? What's her name? Lauryn Hill.
I don't know.
Well, Lauryn Hill from the Fugees, and then went on to be she's girl and sister as well. Anyway, she's very famous soul singer, R&B singer. She's notorious for being late.
Oh, really?
So now her fans don't get to the gigs on time.
Oh,
so she'll get there at 8, and you'll see the people who know who she is and real fans because they don't get there till 9 because she's notorious for being at least an hour and a half late.
Wouldn't they just shut the doors though? Not let
is
them
there
in.
a support act?
Yeah.
Just gives a fuck about them.
There's nobody watching them.
It's like all of her gigs are the same. Like an hour and a half late she was last week, and everyone knows it, and she just doesn't give a fuck. And like people,
what if you had the gig to start a lot earlier? Would she still go late?
She just that's part. It's part of her thing now.
Start later,
and like she'll come on stage and go, hair and makeup took too long or something like that. Like it'll just be,
really?
It's like a part of her whole and not enigma. What's a charm and is that she's going to be an hour and a half late from when you say
that's a lot, an hour and a half.
But
it is, isn't it?
That's a lot. 15 minutes, but an hour. That's the show.
And at the venue has a curfew. She does less time.
Oh, she doesn't pay the extra to keep it open?
Oh, no.
Oh, that's shocking.
Oh, that's really bad.
I couldn't be a fan of somebody that was that. I'd be a bit like, come on, you're taking the piss. If I went to see a comic at 8, I'd go, right, the support's doing 20 or whatever, and then half it. But then if they were saying, they're not, I'm here at 8, and then you're only going to come on at 9:30 and do 30 minutes rather than the hour that you said you were going to do.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you know what, it's not worth it.
I don't think there's a comic... I think that
you couldn't get away with it in comedy, could you?
Form. Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
Going, no, I'm not bothered, I don't care.
We need to be liked.
Yeah.
We walked out of James Acaster because of it.
Did you?
Yeah, me
because he was late.
No, well, he wasn't.
Shit.
He wasn't late, but his show's meant to be like an hour 15, 2 hours on stage.
Also, it was longer.
At that point, just like
really, he didn't stay.
2 hours called. If he sees interviews now, he talks about like how he was dying on tour, because he was going on stage with a cob on. He hated his audience because it was all from like 8 out of 10 cats or Would I Lie to You, and he had that whole sort of. For me, it's pretentious anyway, so that whole sort of, I'm better than you, this audience is good enough for me. And he'd come on stage and he'd start like that. And at first, you think it's part of the act. And you think they're funny, this. And he's like, if you see me like that at 10 cats, it's none of that. So if you want that, fuck off. And all that. And
I like that.
But you think it's quite funny because you think that's all part of the act.
Yeah,
and then, like I say,
Chinese curmudgeon.
90 minutes in, when you're like, you've done 40 minutes of material here and an hour of calling us all cunts. You're like... And I was saying to him, he's got another half an hour at least here. And
so, do you think he's? I mean, I don't like. He obviously tours now. Has he whittled out those people, and now he's got like he's just sick?
No, he said he's gone to therapy. So he stopped, didn't he? Stopped for like 3-4 years touring.
I'd love to be able to do that.
Done the Off the Menu podcast with Ed Gamble.
Right.
He's just released another special now where he encourages people to heckle him and stuff. So basically,
heckler's welcome. That's
he's just released that. He's just released that, which I think is meant to be. I've been a cunt. However you like me, come, and we'll all join in together, sort of thing. Because like he did like, to be fair to him, I like the fact that he owned up to it. He said, I said I hated it. I said that's
a proper comic, though. I think that mindset, that ability to self-destruct and be like, that's a real comic's mind. That
I think so, and I think most of us do that on the circuit.
We're not walking away with
the luxury of having 3 years off.
Yeah.
Got to do this in 20 minutes time.
To people that are just out for a Saturday, you're going, yeah, but what is life really? For fuck's sake, I can't be entertained.
Yeah. I don't know what my sense of humour is like now. I struggle sometimes.
I did that whole other week, though.
But you know, you're just trying to go like, I don't know what, because what I'm finding funny now isn't what they want. And I'm like, I need to get back into the mind of them, because I'm in my mind of what I think's funny, but I don't think they're on the same page.
Yeah, when you're making yourself laugh and you're like, only a handful of these are on board.
Well, it's a bit pretentious, I think, when they say, of course, I said this, nobody laughed, but there was 3 comics at the back pissing themselves. And
Yeah, but that's because you're shite.
Yeah, they're laughing at them at the
macabre or the weirdness
of it.
Yeah.
You're laughing at the.
Oh no, I don't like comics laughing at all. I've said to people when I've done a bad gig, and there's like 8 people, or like a shit gig and there's no one in, I've said, don't laugh. I really don't want you to. Even if you think it's funny, I'm like, don't laugh at me. I want that audience. I want this room to be silent. And if I hear a comic laugh to try and make it seem like it's funnier than it is, it really upsets me. That.
No, but again, they're not laughing because you're being funny. They're laughing at you struggling.
No, but I've seen people struggle. I still don't need to laugh out loud at this.
Oh, I do. I want them to, because I think that's part of it. That 8 people in the audience need to know that.
No, but then the audience
laughing because of how shit this is.
No,
and then and then you that's been in the room now.
No,
but I think there's an elitistness to it.
Yeah, I hate it. Yeah,
got this, but the little people in front of me never got this, and I think
there's a thing of that, like, we're the only ones laughing at him.
Exactly, because they know, but these stupid people here don't know. And I think there's something where you go, look, you either play to punters or you don't. You know what I mean? You know,
very famous saying I've got, isn't it? You know what I mean?
But I just think
I had a argument once with you. I don't know. I was at an open mic night with someone, Redmond it was, and we were arguing amongst ourselves, and he was saying about how well he'd done. And he was saying all the comics were laughing at me. And I was like, yeah, but you play the comics, then I'll play the crowds, and we'll see who goes further on that career. Yeah. And then from that, I dined out on that.
Because comics don't buy
about
tickets,
2 years,
and comics don't buy...
You don't know why they're laughing either, that's the only problem. comic will laugh at your joke, and could be any reason.
Yeah.
I just don't think you need to laugh out loud as a comic. There's no need ever.
I think some things are just funny.
Nah, you can just laugh silently.
No.
It's
part of being
like you say, no, but again, it does that eliteness with the audience, and you go like, now, I just don't like the idea. I like the audience aren't getting it. I might find it funny, but then if I start laughing, like that elitist thing of them going like, oh, therefore you lot are stupid and brilliant still. Yes. I just think let the whole room die with you.
No.
Yeah.
No, because you can still be having a good... Because you've reached to a level now where you can still be having a good time down your ass.
Oh, yeah, I quite enjoy it, yeah.
Sometimes you're down your ass, you suddenly think, I'm enjoying this. I'm just having a laugh. And then if I say something funny that makes me laugh,
but also, we had this conversation before. If you're in a bad gig and you're dying, well, you're not dying, but it's not going how it needs to go as a professional who's been going a while. Now, will you just zone out and go through it, or do you go, you know what, I'm going to try something now that might not work, but it's better to try and swim out the sinking car than just sit in the car and let it sink with you?
When I was younger, I would try and do things like that, have that energy and that...
To try.
To see what I can do and see what I can make of it. But the older I get, the more I just think, if I can just come up with a bit of dignity by doing what I did,
just sticking to the script.
Because I think you're not gonna change any minds that night either. That's the other thing. You just go, well, it's just not.
I think it depends on the audience. I think you can get a read of the audience of whether they're all right or not,
or whether you just need to do this 20.
So the example we've told on podcast before about you and Alexander's, where you were like, this audience actually, they're not that bad. So I'm just gonna go as horrific as I can to make them hate me. So then, if they hate me,
I still stand by the fact I saved that gig with my death.
I'm not arguing because what it was he was opening, and the audience they didn't like him.
No, so this wasn't a normal gig.
So we thought, fuck it, I'm going to make you hate me. So then at least you like the other acts. This is his reason afterwards.
So what happened was
I'll make you hate me so you like the other acts.
It was a gig where it was meant to not be on. Then there was a corporate of 60 people meant to come in. Then they said, we want to put a gig on. So they put it on for this corporate. No one turned up. Then they opened it, or like 10 people turned up. Then there was a row of front row teachers pissed at the start, absolutely hammered, taking photos on stage, everything. Then they'd open it up to the public as well, because not a lot of people from the corporate had turned up. Yes. So it was this mix mash of just regular people there, bladdered people, and then this front row teachers. And then MC went on sort of... didn't really control them, but sort of riled it.
Isn't it? Because all the three
and then
groups.
I tried doing it, and then these teachers are just chatting to you. So I just was like, "You shut up, just shut up." And I was just saying that all night. And then after about 8 minutes of trying, I just went, "I'm not doing material. I'm just going to tell you all to shut up when you're not funny, and you shut up. You're ruining this. Have a bit of respect for everyone else who's put it." And I just did that, and then they hated me.
Because teachers did.
Oh yeah, they hated me, and then I come out, and then the woman said to the MC, going like, "We weren't being that bad, were we?" And I was just like, "Yeah, you were. It's fine now. It's done. It's fine." But then they wanted to prove that I was the problem by being sound for the rest of the night. Do you know? So they were like, "See, it was him. We weren't being knobs then. He was bad."
Right, they're trying to be reasonable people.
So now they became reasonable because I was saying, "You weren't shutting up for me at all. You're just talking to each other." So I claimed that I saved the gig because they went, "Yeah, the rest of the comedians were great. It was just that first one that was rubbish." And I was like, "You being cunts."
Right. Were they all right with everybody else?
I didn't. I left.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently they were
I wasn't on the gig. But
just to prove a point.
I wasn't on the gig, but we know the middle act had the best gig of his life. So the one following him.
Who was that then?
Just another Scouse. No. It's a new Scouse act. It was a new Scouse act who's doing
like 4 Guinness.
A middle on a Friday. He had the best gig. He had the best gig of his life.
I find that a bit like horse racing, where there should be some sort of stewards inquiry. Where I've been at nights at the Glee Club Birmingham. I remember one night where I was comparing. They didn't really go for what I was. They were all right, but they didn't really like what I did. First act didn't do very well. Second, the middle act didn't do very well. Then the open spot just like romped home. They just all the cyclists, and they were shit. I just loved what the open spot did, and then the headliner died in their horse. Now, so that's a 5-horse race that normally 99 times out of 100, that the rank outsider would be
Yeah.
like sort of 66
Yeah,
to
he
1,
just fell.
no chance. But for some reason, the 66 to 1, I came in.
I love
the first
that.
Thing you would
I
do is
love
go to the
that.
mirror and go, there's something off here. What the fuck happened here? But it just was one of them mates. Like, how did this happen? How did they take to the open
That's
spot
mad.
with their
That's
rubbish?
mad.
Probably a
But it
vulnerability.
is 1 in 100, isn't it?
It'll be a vulnerability. The open spot to come on.
Usually-
They'd have sensed how new he was and just gone,
Yeah.
oh, go on then.
I've never seen any in the way that an open spot has done better than every act on
I've
the
seen
But
that,
this
yeah.
is rare. I mean, this is...
That's
I remember
insane.
I've
mates.
seen a gig like that before, yeah.
Really?
Like, yeah, because you go on with a sense of vulnerability and the audience sort of go, oh, go on, I'm going to give this one a
Right.
chance.
Yeah.
Whereas with the other ones, it's like they're ready for battle. They want to battle with the other ones, and there's a sense of this one's vulnerable, let's just
And they're in a
let's show
good spot,
mercy.
aren't they? And the middle one might not have been as good. The first one might not... Just they might
Yeah.
not have been on the game. And because I remember they weren't... I think I was the best, looking like the best of a
Yeah.
bad bunch. They kind of tolerated what I was
Yeah,
saying,
yeah,
but they
yeah.
weren't into it. You know what I mean? They just didn't catch them right.
And what?
And then this open spot went on, and it's just like they were turbocharged. They were,
Yeah.
yes! Amazing! And then the last act died.
I reckon sometimes because they know it makes your STs look a cunt.
Maybe,
Like I
yeah.
said, you can sense the new, you can sense the rubble, they think,
I'll-
we're going to be lovely to him. and make the
As I've
STs
said
look
before, best way for comedy is go to a social club, and you want 2 good acts and 1 death. That's the best night for you as a punter.
I was a punter.
To go to the
Best
social
experience.
club
But
and get
isn't a
and
death sort of part of the
It's
fabric?
brilliant.
Yeah, it's like that's the art,
the
isn't
night,
it?
yeah. Because
that's
you
what I
know,
mean.
and also not even just a death, but like workmen's club going. But of course, I loved the last fella. The missus didn't like.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
thought he
yeah,
was a big head, and,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and that's really good. In the first one, the other way around, I thought,
Yeah.
I thought they were rubbish, but a couple
Yeah.
of my mates really enjoyed them, and I think that's quite good, isn't
That's
it?
what you want, yeah. That's when you know you're a varied bill as well. Like, so.
I think so, but if everybody's just a bit competent, that's very boring, isn't
Exactly.
But that's what I mean about, like, say, what you said about how you're choosing to die. I had one in Holy the month. And the audience were fine. Sully emceed. There's a group of, there was all 36 of them in, and 16 of them were from one work. And he'd made a big fuss of that work. So then they were all made up. Then I come on trying to do jokes, and they just didn't want to know. And then after about 14 minutes, they just give up on me. And it
Was there any point where you had them?
I had the others.
I love that feeling when you know it's that first few minutes. You go, oh no, you just get that, and you go, oh,
The
first joke.
The first 4 or 5, none of them have gone terribly badly, but they're not.
yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
The first joke I knew was going to be
I had that the other week. Oh, I was on stage. I went, oh no.
There's only one way this is going.
Yeah, the audience don't know.
Yeah.
But somebody in your head's going, we're in trouble here.
I love it. I love that when you just go. I love that when you just go, oh no.
It's like one of those. Like when you, like
30 as well. 30, you're joking.
We have a problem.
Like when you play footy, you think the floodgate's going to open here. They only need one.
Yeah.
Once one goes in,
20, you can muscle through to 17 and get off. But when you're down for 30, you're thinking, I can't do 30 to this. This is death.
Because in your mind, you go, what's next? And, oh no.
Well, this is what happened to me in Hull. That's exactly what it was in Hull. There was one, like you say, there's one point where the group laughed, and that was because I mentioned being bald, and one of them was bald, and I pointed them out, and that got a laugh, and that was it. But then, like I say, 14 minutes, there was 3 women, and they just started chatting amongst themselves, but it wasn't one where they'd been cunts because he'd listened for 14 minutes, and it was like you
can't.
and I was there. I tell you, she went, fair enough. I didn't say it out loud, but in my head, I was like, fair enough, because they've given me a chance, and he's just gone, he's not for us.
Yeah.
And he's just being disgusting now. And in your head, you're like, you know what? When no one laughs at this, it is just misogynistic. When no one's laughing, this is just misogynistic.
Yeah, I was saying when someone's struggling, they look, not only do they not look funny, but they look like they're
horrible.
They look like they're horrible.
This is stop being ironic now.
Big head, you look like a twat. You look like you're being offensive.
It's so good, isn't it?
It's like being a playfully funny bloke about your missus or something. It's all good fun, but when you're dying, you just look like a horrible man.
Yeah, that's literally what it was.
I don't know why she tolerates you.
So they're 14 minutes in, they're talking amongst themselves, and that's when they go, Yeah, fair enough, yeah.
I think that...
Yeah, fair enough. I'm just spouting logistic shite on.
I like that, but then that's the bit I love about it. But it's also, that's the bit that means that you can't do it again. You know, when you're on stage going like, well, this is done for 2 years now with this club.
Oh, that gig. Yeah.
You know, you go like, I'm enjoying this death because it's like, you know what, this is how it can go. But then the reality is, you go, well, this is 18, 24 months of it's dead.
I've got to wait for the dropout to get back into this club.
And you're basically watching it and you go like, this is my living going disappearing in front of my face.
Can't have too many of these.
Yeah. There's 12 months.
That other club that I can't afford to not play. Because I mean,
I've got to wait for the dropout to get back in now.
Oh God! Yeah, no, that thing is just you seeing. You know, it's funny, it's fine. I'm not bothered the fact I'm dying, and then they go, "Oh, well, I can't earn any money," and then oh shit! Like this has a ripple effect.
Yeah, I was thinking if it was a switch went today and you are suddenly shit, just shit. Yeah. How long would you have? How much money in the bank have you got?
Well, that's what I like to think. Well,
could you get 6 months worth? I think I've earned myself maybe 6 months.
Do you reckon that what you got after 30 years?
Depends what gigs you've got.
I'll tell you that because
depends what gigs you've got in it.
Now, and then if somebody says he was rubbish last time he came, and they say, "Oh no, that's nonsense," because he was good at our place. But if somebody says he was rubbish last week when he was at ours, going, "Oh, he's rubbish at ours as well."
It's wildfire.
It really is.
I reckon I've got till the tour supports dry up. And that's it.
Oh God. I think it's so funny.
Yeah, I think you've got
the idea that everything is that. Yeah, well, I often thought that with like when I was doing the Glee. I was thinking, I think I've ran out of the bank now. But like, I think there's a problem with the internet server. Just can't get me emails to go through. But like, I used to think, oh, the weekend's done. That was fine. And then you think, how many of these can I? If I do 12 of them, surely I can stink it out one weekend.
Yeah, I used to think when I've done, in the days of doing lots of comedy clubs, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Friday were good. You go
bank,
average
like the
Saturday
Winkest link, bank.
Bank got 2 banks in. So if as long as I just kind of get by on this one,
well, that's right.
That was all right. It's quite good.
Literally my whole one. That died on Friday,
also,
smashed it on Saturday.
Also,
you go in the Saturday going, this might be my last gig here.
The pressure's on. We want to get this.
What I did notice though is the feedback people leave the job, so therefore your bank's worth nothing then, because the person who does the feedback leaves after 3 years. You go, oh no,
I see the book. I haven't got a clue the book for just a tonic is. I've never met them. Don't know who they are.
Yeah,
I'm there on a shoestring every now and again.
But that's always the thing of like, you always get fellas all through my life that reckon they could play football. This is always a thing, especially in the north of England. And they always say, of course, when the scout came, I had a terrible game. You go, you were just terrible too many times, weren't you? Because I think like, somebody that was good would still get something out of it, and the scout would go, I'll have another look. I think they were all right, you know. And I think like a comic, if you like, even if you weren't that good, I think somebody would go, I think they are good, you know. But like, I just don't think it was quite.
Yeah.
You could never go like, but I was absolutely hopeless in every department. I mean, what can you do? That was the night that they were marking it. So you go, but like, you were hopeless in every single way. And
you
can turn it around another. Come on.
6 months.
You can do that at clubs. I always do badly here. It's always here. You do that at every gig. It's always this gig that I always seem to have a bad one.
That's the worst thing you can do. All this sitting there thinking, fuck, you keep booking them for them.
Yeah, no, but I think it's frightening. This is what I mean. Like every year, it's like. And now, but as
you say, as you touched on before, the only reward of doing a good one is to go, well, we'll have them back
again.
You're not going to get 3 back in. You just get another 1 back in. You're always on your last warning, even when you're doing well, aren't you?
Always on a yellow.
You're not
until you get a following. Yeah. No, I think there were some acts that have. I don't know. There's some acts that we've discussed on here that you think they can ring up anywhere and get on. But I'm thinking I think I've got to get my own crowd, because I don't think I'm ever gonna get.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be anointed with the whole you can do it when you want sort of thing.
Well, I mean, people that run clubs, I mean, is there still a market for people who are good? Isn't that? Like, you go, I want somebody good on if they're not well known, or is that diminishing returns with that?
Then there's the pressure of being good, isn't there?
Yeah,
that's a lot of pressure. If you go, all I've got is being good. If I'm not good tonight, I bring nothing to them.
Well, it was always like, you know, people a lot older than me would say, "Oh, there's a fantastic blues band comes to," and you go, "What were their hits?" Go, "Oh no, they don't. They just do their own thing." You know, you know, but they're very good. They're great musicians. You can't not bothered about that.
Yeah.
What was their big hit?
You say that though, but then, like you say, they always turn out a crowd.
They have a solid following, don't they?
They used to be like say it's like Phil Nichols and your Stades. They're the ones. I remember they that's what they were. I reckon about 5-10 years ago, they were just good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they get in every club because they were great. They weren't. No one really knew who they were, but they had enough about them where they'd smash the gig, and then enough people would go, "Oh, actually, I saw them last time, so let's go to that gig again."
So they almost have a following as a result of that.
Sort of, yeah. A following just for being so good on gigs.
Yeah. But I'd say frequent the club.
People that go to the club because they're on.
Yeah.
Raymond's and Mr. Timkins are similar. Like I wouldn't even say like I mean no offense to them, but I would never go out to watch them. But when I did Last Laugh, there was I reckon at least 12 people there just because they were on.
Really?
Yeah, and
I think a lot of it's as well because they're distinctive looking as well, and
you
remember that, don't you?
It's like with say Phil Nichol. Everyone remembers Phil Nichol because he puts his cock in your face and stuff like that. Like, so they're the ones I think you're on about, the ones that will always have a diary full, who don't necessarily have to be famous. Your man cock in your face. We were saying last week when you did a comedy store. It wasn't a comedy store, or you did a gig with him and someone bit his cock and it like...
No. That was a while ago that I think he did a gig at the Comedy Store and I think someone bit it. He climbed up on stage, I think, and like got in the face and like his legs were over the side of the head or something.
Someone bit his cock.
Someone bit his dick or something.
And then he was all like mortified by it.
What it's like, That's what I heard. I don't know. That's third-hand information, Gav, so you never know, do you?
Yes.
You run that risk yourself.
That's a nightmare for a uniform cop.
Yeah.
Look, I'll deal with this. So you did... No, let's get this right. It's a decent exposure from you.
I think it was through the kex. I don't think it was cock out.
No.
Really? A bit of decency, Gav.
It was just as he's gyrating in the face, he's gone, fuck it. It's a comedy night. It's a laugh, innit?
Yeah, it's a bit of fun.
Exactly. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. That's where you run the risk. If you want to be one of them comics that goes, I can get in everywhere because they'll always remember me. And that you run the risk getting your cockpit.
Your cockpit. Literally, that sounds like a metaphorical statement. Getting your fingers burnt.
Yeah.
Literally, getting your cockpit.
Do you ever get any walkouts when you're on stage?
Still do.
Do you?
I always do at Edinburgh for some reason at the Fringe. At Edinburgh, I always get walkouts.
Really?
Oh, there's so much. Do you think they'd know what they're going to see?
But because I always do like incendiary tales, but they're obviously not what the show's about. It's normally the opposite. And one time, this family walked out. This bloke walked out. I was doing, but he didn't see the context. It was doing, you know that record, like that, Who's Gonna Drive You Home Tonight? And it was like pictures of people in Mogadishu dying, but it was like, but there was a context to it, you know.
Yeah.
But he was just seeing horrendous images of people being dead, and so he got up. He went, "This is absolutely dreadful, appalling," and he went and he walked. His wife and grown-up kids were there, and he walked out at the back and he stood at the back. He went, and I went, "Fair enough." And then he
fair enough.
It's his choice, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's such a sort of defeated thing, innit? When you just go, fair enough.
I think it's the opposite. It's the opposite.
5 minutes left.
Yeah, I know, but he's just like, right, fuck off. I don't care. I just don't care.
The opposite of being defeated. It's like, go on then, fuck
it. Or something, and it was about 14 in. Yeah. And he stood at the back and went, "Right, is anybody else going to vote with their feet?"
Oh my God.
That's when I fucking had to see. I went, "No, it's just you cunt." Yeah. And he walked out, and then when I did another piece, I went to get a prop or something, you know, that was when his wife and two grown-up kids did that, like, you know, that thing where they think they're going to be invisible, so they're like, they crouch and run out.
As if someone's taking someone's video in it?
In a room above a pub in the new town. So yeah, that was a walk, and I keep getting walkouts, and then I don't know why I get walkouts. I'm not like a.
That's what I mean. I thought because you've been there so often, you like you say, they know what they're going to see.
Yeah, and I'm not like one of them. You know, I'm not one of them. You know, them shock
trying to
ones,
shock.
They're boring. Them. I like people who shock, but I don't like the ones who say.
The
one with the devil horns on the post. Like, shocking hour from Mr. Shocking.
I like Andy Jasonek's. He's got a good thing on it, but I think he got it from Oscar. Is it Oscar Wilde's son? He said the saying's art is getting away with it, and he said that's
Isn't it Andy Warhol?
Andy Warhol, yeah.
Andy Warhol, yeah.
Art is getting away with it,
right?
And Jeselnik says that's what comics need to understand. If you're getting blowback on your jokes, you haven't got away with it. So you're not like, you're just being a shock jockey, you're not being an artist then sort of thing. Where the art is, you've done something, you've gone beyond the line, but everyone's at a laugh, so no one leaves you, so no one blows back on you.
I suppose, but then you've got that thing of like... I
think there's a difference if it's historical blowback.
You can't get away with not.
No, but like, I think it's different if it's cut out of context or something, but if it's in the room and everyone laughs, then you sound.
But like when he walks out like that, going like, "This is shocking," you found up. I just think, do you ever get frustrated? You're like, I just wish I could convey to this crowd how little I care for what's happening now. Like you probably think, "Oh, this is we feel bad for him." Yeah. We feel bad for him, but
just right, okay. I've got a problem with the camshaft. Oh, mate, man, come tomorrow morning.
I just don't care.
I'm not bothered, man.
Yeah.
If I try and win you over, that's overtime.
Yeah.
My eyes on the pint.
Yeah.
Well, it's like when a busy.
Why couldn't you have brought this up with a
When you speed past the busy, he's got 10 minutes left of his shift, and he thinks, "I'm not doing that paperwork. Fuck it.
I just
go on, fuck off."
Yeah.
Right, Gav. I'd love to get you on again because I wanted to ask you stuff about your material, because for me, like when I started watching you were one of my big. When you start doing something and you only see stuff on TV and you think, oh, that must all be like, and you go in the circuit and you realise there's so much talent on the circuit that people are unrecognised. And for me, you were a big one of that. Just the way, like, I love the way you used to talk about like growing up in a post-industrial house. Like, you talk about where the working class and the shithole of being from where you're from and stuff like that. But I thought you did it, the way you conveyed it in a 20-minute set. It's the kind of thing people write about in Edinburgh. Goes, oh, the way they took where they're from, and
I walk around in your voice.
They spoke about it, and like they're really making a point.
I do.
They're really making a point of where
Gavin
like,
Webster. When you get introduced on stage,
the class difference and all that. Let me fucking say this, will you?
Sorry.
They really make a point of the class difference.
If he doesn't want to hear this, he's not.
I know he doesn't give a fuck, but I want to tell him, and I want the audience to hear it. And anyway. I found it because I found that inspirational. You could do that in a 20-minute weekend club set,
really?
And you could do something. And that for me was like, fuck, you can actually make a point and just entertain drunks for a weekend. And I love that. So I'd love to have you back on and talk about that a bit more and how purposeful that might be, or whether you just fucking did it and you didn't fucking know you were doing it.
Oh,
anyway,
well, also, long enough to do it.
Well, no, I've got to go and pick my lad up from school, so I've got to go and do the school.
Parking's up. We love you, Gav, but we're not getting 30 quid ticket.
I love you. There's a 4-year-old who's going to be on the playground on his own.
The one show.
That's why you said it so fast.
Back in the day, like they had to get. They couldn't lose items.
Yeah.
So that Adrian, what's he called? Adrian the
Childs.
Adrian Childs. He'd say, right, Mahatma Gandhi, gotta stop you there. Because Carol Thatcher's on the highest point. I was thinking, how man? I just did drop an item.
I didn't want to finish the podcast while speaking about how highly regarded you.
Yeah.
Right, where can people find you?
What? Sorry.
Where can people find you?
I don't know. Instagram and
what is it?
I don't know. Just put my name in, surely.
Gavin Webster. Gavin Webster. The Gavin. Is it the Gavin Webster?
It could be. I think it's the Gavin Webster.
Anything you want to promote?
No, not really. Well, like live stuff and that.
Well, you've got tour coming up, haven't you?
Finished it, but I've got next year. But it's a long time away. 21st of November. I'm at the Tyne Theatre doing a show called Glory Be. It's Gavin Webster.
Excellent. Right. Thank you very much. Down to the Patreon. Ta-ra.